morning. Join me in the invocation this morning. Heavenly Father, we're thankful for this day, and we're always grateful for the opportunity to serve our community. Lord, we do pray for your wisdom, your direction on how to manage the county's business so that we can be a blessing to everyone here. And we do pray for your blessings on our county, Father. Thank you, Lord, for all you do for us. Be with all those who are sick and shut in that may need your touch. We do pray in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. Join me in the pledge to the United States flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now the Texas flag. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. You can see. Good morning, everyone. Looks like our first thing this morning under announcements, we have a few proclamations. Our first one is the proclamation declaring March 2024 as Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month by the Governor of Texas. Are there any folks from community? I know there's some community health coordinator. Would y'all like to come up and speak or read your proclamation if you'd like?
Good morning, Commissioners, Judge. My name is Cannon Melton. I work with Texas A&M AgriLife Extension in partnership with the Texas Council for Developmental Disabilities.
And I'm Patty Brady with Community Health Corps.
And I'm Priscilla Cook with Marshall ISD's 18 Plus Transition Program.
All right.
Introduce yourself.
Cammy?
This is Cammie Owens. This is actually my sister.
All right. All right.
And my mom, Cindy Owens, and Mr. Littlefield.
So Randy Fall, board chair.
Good morning.
So today it's estimated that 549,000 individuals in Texas have developmental disabilities. Ultimately, they aspire to the very same hopes and dreams we all cherish as Texans: to be self-sufficient, to find fulfilling work, to practice one's faith, and to make a difference. Like all Texans, people with developmental disabilities have unique skills and perspectives, but they also face unique challenges. It is important to raise awareness about the disability experience in Texas and to understand how each person can lead the best life possible. Throughout our history, many of these Texans have done precisely that, touching lives, contributing to their communities, and making the Lone Star State a better place for us all. Texas is better off when all citizens can flourish, so we must do everything in our power to facilitate personal and professional success for people with developmental disabilities. When these students are included in classroom settings outside of special education, they are more likely to achieve their full academic potential. By the same token, when people with disabilities are included in the workforce, they have an opportunity to earn a competitive wage, work as a valued team member, and support our state's unrivaled economy. Furthermore, people with developmental disabilities who are involved in their community generally live longer, healthier lives, and are more likely to give back. In sum, when inclusion is a reality, the entire state thrives. Now I turn it over to my colleague, Patty Brady.
So each year, the month of March is set aside to shed light on developmental disabilities, to show solidarity with affected individuals, their families, and their care providers, and to emphasize the importance of inclusion in every aspect of life. During this observance and hereafter, Texans can learn about how classrooms, workplaces, house of worships, and communities are stronger when they include people of all abilities. At this time and this month, the Governor of Texas would like to bring awareness of developmental disabilities and take up the banner of full inclusion and equality for all. Greg Abbott, Governor of Texas, hereby proclaims March 2024 Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month. And I want to thank you all, commissioners, Judge, for everything you do for Community Health Corps and helping us bring awareness of supports for people like my sister in the community and all of the communities that we serve in East Texas. Community Health Corps has a theme for this month, and it's IDD Matters. And the reason why we're saying that is because IDD stands for Intellectual and Developmental Disabilities. And we're trying to let everyone know that the R word is no longer around, and a lot of people know that, but they don't know what IDD means. And so we're trying to bring awareness of what that means and make sure that we continue to have support for people like my sister in the community. Thank Mr. LaFawn.
Yeah, I would like to chime in. Obviously, this is a very important awareness month, but also too, just recently on the 8th of March, in Longview, the Community Health Corps opened ECI, the Early Childhood Intervention Center, which is part assessment diagnostics of children from prenatal to 18 years. And it's a marvelous facility. Also too, Patty, when's that date for that golf tournament?
We have a golf tournament on April the 22nd, and this does support people with IDD in our community.
Yes.
And also, I think most of you know, and I let Ms. Charlene know and Judge know about our 4th Friday luncheon that we're having just next door at Synergy Park. I actually office there, so if there's ever any time that you wanna talk with me about something Community Health Corps, come on over. I think I'm in the wrong area, is it over here?
Yep.
Over here, sorry. I looked out there, it's on the court, over here. And just come by and talk with me. But next Friday is our lunch and learn. It's from 12 to 1. It's not gonna be any longer than an hour. We're gonna have lunch for you guys and some other people in the community and just talk about IDD and what it is.
Sure, one of you guys are here for the golf tournament. It's also with the pine tree in Longview.
Yeah, we'll let you
All
know
right.
about that. Yeah.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you so much, John.
Mr. Leffall, and I would just like to thank you. You were appointed by this board. You come from Precinct 1, and you're serving Community Health Corps as the chairman of the board. And so we're thankful for your efforts from Harrison County and for all of East Texas. So thank you for what you're doing. Good.
And I'd like to get a picture if we can.
Absolutely.
But I also like to say that, thank you for appointing Mr. LaFawn. He is one of the, I don't just say this because he's our chair, but we have a lot of people on our board that are very passionate about the work that we do, but don't really understand the work that we do. And he understands the work to the fullest because he's been in that field before. And he pushes me every single day. He said, Patty, where are we at? Are we here? Are we there? Are we here? And so it keeps me on my toes, and I really thank you guys for having him in that
You
position.
bet. Thank y'all.
I wish we had a dozen like Mr. LaFawn.
I do too.
Oh, yes, sir. How you doing?
Thank you all.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Patty.
Y'all excuse me one second. Next up, from our Extension Office, this is the proclamation declaring March 18 through 22, next week, 2024, as Farm City Week here in Harrison County.
Morning, gentlemen.
Good morning. How are y'all?
Wonderful. Spring is definitely in the air. Fall is definitely in there as well. Everything outside's green. The grass is greening up. Seeing new baby calves around. It's a wonderful time of the year, but it's also a very busy time of the year for us. Jennifer's made 2 trips to Houston, back and forth, twice in less than a week. We've had kids participate in livestock judging contest, exhibiting goats, pigs, heifers, and steers. So busy time, but it gets on a more local basis. Next week, with Farm City Week, we kick off Monday with the speech contest out at the Extension Office. We have livestock shows Tuesday and Wednesday, ag mechanic show on Thursday, and then we close out the week with the auction. This year we have 12 entries in the speech contest. We have 16 market broiler entries, 62 pens of rabbits, 13 market sheep, 46 market goats, 92 market hogs, 21 market steers. We'll have 25 plus or minus heifers that'll show on Wednesday afternoon. After the hog show on Wednesday, we have a special needs hog showmanship contest, and that's always a big highlight and a crowd pleaser there. And then we close out the week with 68 ag mechanic projects that will be exhibited, all this at the city arena, other than the speech contest, for a total of 375 entries.
Will the sale also be at the city arena?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
And the hamburger kickoff is Monday evening at 6 o'clock.
very good.
The speech contestants, the winning speeches will be presented there, as well as the scholarships.
Very good. Well, we're happy to make the proclamation for next week as Farm City Week. We appreciate all that y'all do, and I know it's the whole community coming together, but I know a good bit of this falls on y'all's shoulders, so thank you for what you're doing, and we look forward to a successful week.
Thank you for your support.
Appreciate it. Next up, we have a proclamation today for declaring April 2024 as Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Anybody here, would y'all like to come speak on this or read your proclamation?
Thank you for having us. My name's Amelia, and I'm the Outreach and Development Coordinator at the Women's Center of East Texas. And this is Stella. She is one of our advocates that speaks and talks with our clients that come into our office for services. We support survivors of domestic violence, sexual assault, and human trafficking. We have our main office is in Longview, but we do have an outreach office here in Marshall as well as in Henderson. We serve 6 counties, Harrison being one of them. Whereas Sexual Assault Awareness Month calls attention to the fact that sexual harassment, assault, and abuse are widespread and impact every person in this community. And whereas rape, sexual assault, and sexual harassment harm our community, and statistics show 1 in 5 women and 1 in 20 men have been sexually assaulted at some point in their lives. And whereas we must work together to educate our community about sexual assault prevention, supporting survivors, and speaking out against harmful attitudes and actions. And whereas with leadership and dedication, we can be successful in preventing sexual assault in East Texas by increasing education, awareness, and community involvement. And whereas Harrison County strongly supports the efforts of national, state, and local partners, and of every citizen to actively engage in public and private efforts to prevent sexual assault, it's time for all of us to take appropriate action and support one another to create a safer environment for all. Now, therefore, Harrison County joins advocates and communities across the nation in playing an active role to end sexual assault, along with the United States government and the state of Texas. I do hereby proclaim the month of April as Sexual Assault Awareness Month in Harrison County.
Thank you, ma'am, and we're happy to do that and certainly appreciate y'all's efforts serving the ladies here in East Texas that have been through some trauma, so appreciate what you're doing.
What's so scary, it's men, women, and children.
Right.
So, and sometimes we don't think about that.
Sure.
So, we appreciate the support that you guys give us and that we are glad to be able to reach out here.
You bet. Good to have y'all today. Thank you. Do we have any public comments today? I don't have any.
Judge, I'd like to say something.
Yes, sir,
if
go
you don't
ahead.
mind. You know, folks, I look around this room and I see so many of y'all that supported me and helped me get reelected to stay in this seat, and I truly appreciate it. I know that the elected officials did not want to change. They did not want any part of stepping backwards. So I'd like to thank all of y'all. If you didn't live in my precinct, you got on the phone, you told 10 people to tell 10 people. I'd like to also thank Commissioner Timmons that encouraged people to cross party lines and vote for me to keep me in this office, because we are a commissioner's court for all the people. We serve all of Harrison County, and I truly, from the bottom of my heart, I want to go on the record and thank every one of y'all, and to reach out to anybody else that I'm missing, and thank y'all so much. I appreciate it, and I will continue to do a good job for you. Thank y'all all so much.
Thank you, Commissioner. Sure, yes, please.
Thank y'all.
If there are no other public comments, we'll go ahead and begin our meeting. It is 9:18. We do have a quorum present today. Present and voting, Precinct 1's Commissioner Hatfield, Precinct 2's Commissioner Timmons, Sims presiding, Precinct 3's Commissioner Malden, Precinct 4 is Commissioner Ebarb. Again, it's 9:18. We'll start our regularly scheduled meeting here in the historic courthouse on March the 12th, 2024. First up is from our auditor. Good morning, Ms. Haynes.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Before I begin with my financial report, I wanted to give y'all an update on our time tracking system that y'all approved last year to be implemented. This payroll that we're processing currently is the first payroll that we have had 0 errors when we're exporting from time and attendance into our general ledger for payroll processing. I want to thank all of the department heads that have assisted. I especially want to thank the HR director. She was key in helping us get everything set up and getting everything going more smoothly. The only people we're having to key time is election workers, and that seems to be going real well. But our documentation, I know you all remember the thick documentation that we had for payroll. It's now about that thick now. It's much less cumbersome. We try to have our payroll at least initially reviewed by the end of Monday. That was unheard of in the prior process. So I just wanted to give y'all an update and thank you for budgeting that and allowing us to implement it. The department heads have embraced it. They do real well getting time approved. It's taken us 6 months to get here, but I knew it would be a slow process. But I'm very appreciative of each of the department heads embracing it and working with us, and as I said, especially the HR director, because she was key in helping us get it set up also. Also, my staff was instrumental in processing, working with the department heads, training the department heads, but I just wanted to give y'all an update and thank you. I greatly appreciate it.
You bet. Thank you for your efforts, and certainly any other processes we have that we could automate or make a little easier, please don't hesitate to give us a shout.
Well, I'm working with the purchasing agent. We're trying to get, this is actually no cost to the county. So it's something
We like that even more.
Yes, I like that too. It's something that will be rolled out with our general ledger system once they go to cloud. And it's going to allow the department heads to submit requisitions online and not having to submit anything and actually key in what they want or attach a quote to the requisition. The other thing it will do is the reports that my office sends out after Commissioner's Court, that you can go on at any point in time online and look to see what requisitions are outstanding, what POs you have. what's in your budget. So we're just waiting for that to be rolled out by Tyler Technologies, and then we're gonna start working on that. And my hope is that we should be less papers from a requisition standpoint by the end of this fiscal year.
Super.
So we're looking at, I'm trying to find processes where we're reducing the amount of paper that we have, because we have a lot of paper.
Well, very good. Well, thank you. Thank y'all both. All right, on to your administrative report, unless you have anything else.
Okay. You all should have a copy of the January 2024 administrative report. Keep in mind, these are unadjusted and unaudited fund balances. On page 1, it will reflect that we have $28,529,013 in our fund balances. It details by fund, what each fund has a balance of. On page 2 is a summary of the general fund. As of January 2024, we have collected $8,951,686 versus $11,563,894. That's a reduction of $2.6 million or 22.59%. The good news is that in February, we received, I believe, around $17 million in taxes, so it's just a timing. It's not that we're not collecting the money, it's just the timing of when the citizens are paying their taxes. On the expense side, we have paid $8,622,397 in comparison to $7,528,082. That's an increase of $1,094,314 or 14.54%. There's a lot of things going on with that. If you look, there's the general administrative that is high. That's related to insurance. If you look at public safety, that's higher. Keep in mind that the public safety sector had the grant for the SB 22 that's in there that was not in their prior year. They also had salary increases, but that's what's driving that. So it's a lot of things going on there. On page 3, on the net perspective, we have received $329,290 versus $4,035,812. Again, a lot of that's just timing, so the next month it should look much better. On page 4 is a comparison year over year for road and bridge. As of January 2024, we have collected $2,078,177 in comparison to $2,572,493. That's a decline of $494,000, about, or 19.22%. Again, you can see it's our property taxes. It's just a lag in collection. The expenses, we have paid $1,334,255 in comparison to $1,281,967. That's a increase of $52,288. On page 5 is a summary of the net perspective. We have collected $744,000 more in revenue than what we have spent in comparison to FY23, where we have had collected $1,290,526 versus what we had collected. On page 6 through 10 is a summary of revenue by department. On page 11 through 15 is a summary of expenses by department in comparison to budget. On page 16 is a summary of our debt, and of course we have zero debt. And that's all I have.
Any questions for Ms. Haynes on the administrative report?
How are they paying, the state paying that SB 22? Is it a lump sum settlement, or do they pay it out?
We don't know yet.
Oh, we hadn't received them.
We have not received anything.
I believe we've gotten all of our paperwork submitted for the grant. It's done. We're just waiting on them now.
We're waiting on guidance from them as to what we need to submit, as far as I know. Is that correct, Dwight? Okay.
Any other questions? If not, we'll move on to item number 1, is consideration and approval regarding line item transfers.
I am requesting transferring $69,826.48. If you'll note that the majority of that is either between, is within the juvenile department, where we are transferring, 31,000. What's happening there is there's, that the state aid grant is not fully staffed. So what we've started doing is recording overtime from our detention officers, trying to utilize the money so that we do not have to refund money to the state grant. So we're working with Kelly and Judge Black and Judge Moore to make sure, and of course Judge Sims, to make sure that we do not refund any funds to the state and we fully utilize the state funds.
Very good. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
We have a motion by Commissioner Hatfield, a second by Commissioner Ebarb. Any questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, our motion passes 5-0. Item number 2 is consideration and approval of payment of regular bills.
Requesting payment of $591,776.45. Of that, $89,014.89 are related to either donations or grants. So that's money that we have either received or we will be reimbursed. So the county is paying $502,000 about.
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Hatfield, second by Commissioner Malden. Any questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 5-0. Number 3 is consideration and approval of payroll for March 1, 2024.
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Timmons, second by Commissioner Malden. Any questions on our payroll? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you, ma'am. Hearing none, our motion passes 5-0. Next up is Road and Bridge Department. Morning, Mr. Davis.
Morning. Commissioners, how y'all doing today?
Good.
So, we've still been focused on routine maintenance and all the flooding. We still had a couple of heavy rains. Of course, we're repairing them. As quick as we repair them, we get washed out again. They're calling for some more heavy rain this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. But all our roads are open and passable. We just still got a bunch of washouts. We are concentrating on them. And, the new Pro Patch truck should be in the next week or two. That company's gonna send a rep out to sort of train our guys on it, show them all the do's and don'ts. So, yeah, we'll be seeing it in our fleet here in the next week or two.
Any questions for Mr. Davis on his administrative report? I would assume if you got some guys in particular picked out to work on your new
Yes,
pothole
sir.
patching truck.
Yes, sir, we do. We got a guy that's real good with keeping his, vehicle real nice and clean. He wants to do a good job. We're gonna put him on that machine and he's gonna be over it.
Is it just one part? Surely it's a two-man crew.
It's
huh?
gonna be a two-person job.
Okay.
But he will be responsible for it.
Very good.
And it's written nicely.
Good.
We're not gonna train him and all of a sudden he's gonna lead to a high paying job.
I hope not. That does happen quite a bit these days. But he seems to be committed. He's, an older person and he's looking for a job just like this. He's been with us now for about a year. He's a real good guy.
Good deal.
Well, somebody gets in there and learns how to operate that, they'll have a real good job.
Job security for life, right?
That's right. That's right.
Plenty of problems.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I'd ask one request when we start to get our equipment, our pothole truck, and it gets up and running and your crew gets familiar and learns how to use it, that when they turn on a county road, that they don't go to a specific location, that when they pass a pothole, they stop and patch.
Oh, yes.
I've seen so much where we go to a place that's turned in and drive by and go to that place and, you know, if we have to, let's give them some blank work orders or whatever, so when they come across one, that they go from the start of that road to the end of that road while they're out there.
We've been trying to put that in their
Yeah.
heads, and I don't know if they're talking going down the road or what, but we can send them down the road sometimes, and
Yeah.
have to send them right back. down the
Exactly, and
next
this,
day because they miss
that's,
it.
yeah.
We just have to follow in behind them, and we're trying to teach them to be more vigilant, you know. But some roads, they will go in and patch, and we'll have a good rain the night after, and, you know, new potholes will reappear.
Hopefully this will take care of some of that, you know, as far as,
And we still got the two dirt patchers that we just got back up and running, you know. They always sort of go down during the winter months because of the cold weather. So we will have, two dirt patchers, the pro patch, and it will make a better job than just patching out the back of a dump truck with a shovel, you know.
Luke, I'd like to think about us maybe reinventing a wheel out there with what we're doing on these roads, because I feel like right now for some reason, we're getting scattered out. I feel like the guys have learned that they really like the windshield time,
Yeah.
and I would like for us to start, and we'll get all this ironed out when we'll get the equipment in and we get trained up on it, but I would like to start where they, just for example, to start on Blocker Road South, there at 31, and cross 26, 25, come into Precinct 1 and work Blocker Road all the way down to intersects with West Road, and then get the adjacent roads, drop over to Mercer. I'd like to see us do a saturation instead of working up at Smyrna and hitting a few potholes and then driving down the state line and doing it that way. So we've got a plan on this, and we want to work with you, but I want this to be a very efficient operation. I want people to know we're trying to make a difference in what's
I
going
do
on.
too.
Yeah, because right now we've got a process, somebody calls us and complains about it really bad. So then you call in, the foreman goes out and looks at it, and somebody comes out and draws an orange circle around it, and it's just too many cooks in a kitchen in it. When I think we could have like a roving pothole repair where they just ride the roads and saturate the roads. So y'all think about that, see what we can do on it.
We already have.
Okay, good deal. All right, thank you, Luke.
You will. They also purchasing, has submitted the master rental agreement with Iron Smart for reclaimer and steel wheel for this summer coming up. We tried to take the job from them, so, you know, just letting them know it's fixing to come up.
Very good. Yep, we saw that later on in the agenda. Thank you for the heads up there. If there's no other questions on the administrative report, we'll move on to our consideration and approval of personnel changes for Harrison County Road and Bridge Department, which there are none. So that makes it pretty easy for us.
Motion. Second.
Motion by Commissioner Timmons, second by Commissioner Hatfield. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that passes 5-0. And we do have a number of road crossings. This is item number 2, consideration and approval of the utility applications submitted to Harrison County Road and Bridge Department as follows. Lee Water Supply, Verhalen Road, County Road 2217. Spectrum or Charter on Pine Bluff Road, which is County Road 2115. Galen Young on Young Road, which is County Road 3800. E-Tex Telephone Co-op on McPhail Road, which is County Road 4121. Again, E-Tex Telephone Co-op on McPhail Road, County Road 4121. E-Tex Telephone Co-op, Preston Johnson Road, County Road 4131. East Tex Telephone Co-op on Shreve Camden Road, which is County Road 1221. East Tex Telephone Co-op on Magnolia Road, which is County Road 1114. East Tex Telephone Co-op on Los Altos Road, which is County Road 1223. And finally, East Tex Telephone Co-op on Boggy Road, which is County Road 1222.
Lee Water Supply and Galen Young, they're water line installers, and Spectrum is a cabinet installer. And that's gonna be on the maintained right away of Pine Bluff Road, and the other lines are all fiber optic. All the applications have been reviewed, and they do meet our standards outlined in our utilities, application.
Is there a motion to approve our utility applications?
Motion. Second.
Motion by Commissioner Timmons, second by Commissioner Ebarb. Any questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion passes 5-0. Number 3 is consideration and action to approve the customer purchase agreement or commitment to lease from John Deere Construction or Doggett Machinery Services for the purchase of 6 motor graders at a cost of $2,040,000 through the Sourcewell Co-op, and for the county judge to execute the documents and contracts associated with the purchase.
Yes, there's being presented today, it's the actual, contracts for the 6 new motor graders from Doggett. Cost of each unit's $340,000 with a guaranteed buyback price of $200,000. This is a cycle we go through every 3 years. So we get to run these 6 motor graders very cheap. And we depend on them quite a bit. They are the backbone of our road system.
Have they already picked up our other ones?
No, sir.
Not
We
yet.
got them on the yard, clean them.
So they'll drop all new ones, pick up old ones?
Yes,
Is that what
sir.
they'll do? Okay. Do we have a motion to approve?
Motion. Second.
Motion by Commissioner Timmons, second by Commissioner Hatfield. Any other questions or comments?
This has been a pretty drastic yearly cost increase over the last 6-7 years as far as the
Yes, sir,
equipment.
everything in that field has gone up, materials, machinery,
Yeah.
you know. It's just sign of the times.
Yeah.
Steadily costing us more to fix roads, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Materials has went up 20%.
All right, we got a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 5-0. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Howard.
Next up from our Sheriff's Department. Good morning, Lieutenant Poindexter. Now, you know what, before you even start, I just should ask you guys, y'all may or may not know, but Sheriff Fletcher's dad had a pretty serious surgery, and so I just remind y'all to keep him in your prayers. I think he's doing well.
He is, I'm texting him, he said every day is a little bit of an
Good,
improvement.
very good. So that's why Sheriff Fletcher's not with us today. Thank you for filling in.
Yes, sir. Activity report for 2/7/35. Total cost of service is $2,189. In criminal reports taken, 209. Investigated, assigned cases, 59. Arrest by the Harrison County Sheriff's Office, 69. Traffic contacts, 396. Mentals is 3. Transport and warrants office, 31 transports for 6,721 miles. Civil process, legal documents received, 180, 77 personal service, 11 indictment precepts served in jail, 27 tax posting, 20 postings county and district, and 0 Harrison Central Appraisal District. Total served 135. Juror notices 1,600. As of 3/6/2024 at 9:45 a.m., the jail population is 240. 2/7/36 contract inmates, Marion County is 0, U.S. Marshals is 20. The Harrison County Sheriff Fire Marshal and OSF Division, citations is 1, fire inspections is 3, illegal dumping cases 11, loads of litter picked up 9, litter picked up by the cubic foot is 7,200.
Very good. Any questions for Lieutenant Poindexter? Thank you for your report.
Yes, sir.
Next up from purchasing. Good morning, Ms. Harkins. Item number 1 is consideration and approval to declare listed fixed assets as salvage and/or surplus and to appropriately dispose of said items.
If you'll note, RFC, I noted that some of these vehicles are enterprise fleet, which means they'll be returned, and some of them are county-owned, which means I am working on an auction to get those sold.
Very good. I know that Enterprise will sell our stuff as well. They charge us like $400, I think, to sell that. Have you looked at maybe what pricing they're getting versus what you think we might get? Is there any way to know?
I can look into that. I don't know if we're able to sell it ourselves. It's not an option that I've looked into, but it's something that I will.
Yeah, well, if they have a great source for,
We usually have a really good outcome with Renee Bates.
okay,
So
that's fine.
I'll reach out and see if we can go that
Very good. Well, and we may not have enough data to compare, because I know we've just sold our first few, so you might keep an eye on that. If Enterprise can get rid of them at a higher price, it may make sense to do that. Very good. So you guys see the list of surplus items, a lot of pickups and some computers and radios. Is there a motion to approve listing these assets as salvage and/or surplus and to appropriately dispose of them?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Ebarb, second by Commissioner Malden. Any questions or comments? So this is our second large batch of Enterprise that we're returning. So we're hopeful to get some good resale on these like we did the other day. All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 5-0. Item number 2 is consideration and approval of the master rental agreement with Iron Smart Machinery to rent equipment, motor vehicles, and other personal property equipment to the applicant. That's us.
As Luke stated, this is for the equipment construction rentals.
For the reclaimer. Is that the only thing we get from them is a reclaimer? And a roller? Okay. We still using our roller a good bit?
Yes,
Daily, good. Yep. You guys, you probably noticed, they made one adjustment to this master rental agreement in item number 18, and it is the item where
They said we needed to put it on our insurance.
Yep.
We already do that.
okay, fantastic.
It's not a change for us, it's just a change.
Change
they
for them.
noted in there.
Very good. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion. Second.
Motion by Commissioner Timmons, second by Commissioner Hatfield. Any questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, our motion passes 5-0. Item number 3 is consideration and approval to amend the current part-time records preservation coordinator with current budgeted salary of $26,779, including retirement benefits, to a full-time position with proposed salary to be $46,056, including benefits, on a 26-3 pay scale, and authorization for the transfer of funds attached in the amount of $19,240 for the creation of said full-time position and deletion of the part-time position.
So the purchasing department has set high goals that are intended to include no errors, and make it the most efficient and effective way to work with other county offices, while trying to reduce any issues. Currently, that's been difficult to obtain with the limited staff. We work with hundreds of purchase orders and invoices, all of the county's inventory, and just many other things daily, and I truly think that this will help our office achieve those goals. Also, I wanted to note that the proposed salary for this position is actually $31,000. That $46,000 is if that person includes their benefits such as health insurance.
So it's really,
It's really, I mean, that could be the cost for the county if they chose to go the
with the
benefit
insurance and all,
route.
right? Very good. So this is a records preservation coordinator. So I know you've had somebody doing this part-time, and generally, what have their duties been?
So, they help me with the county inventory, such as entering fixed assets, disposing of those assets, keeping up with those. We have been out in the county barns organizing those records. We are actually in the process of reaching out and seeing if we can, scan those records because we're running out of room. It's something that I have to meet with the auditor and the IT department to kind of get a game plan. We've not done that yet, so it's just an idea currently. But she's actually, with my first assistant being on maternity leave, taking up more of those duties that are not in her job description, such as, helping review invoices and gathering those things. So she's been doing a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I'm losing her because she needed more hours and more pay.
Who would be her direct supervisor?
Who's that?
This part-time help?
She's under me, under the purchasing department. But she is also able to go to any county office if you need help scanning, help filing. You're more than welcome to reach out. And this position, she can schedule you out and say, hey, I'm free all day Tuesday, and she can come and help. She's available to the entire county. Or he.
Have y'all been doing that some?
No one's reached out, but yes, we're actually trying to help juvenile with the removing of their records.
Do some of the other offices in the county have, part-time positions that are scanned or under the preservation grant?
District
Okay.
clerk and county clerk, but are they part-time or full-time?
Mine's full-time.
You converted their budget from part to full, didn't you? Okay.
Liz is paid through her preservation.
That's what I was thinking.
Sherry's is paid through the general fund.
Good, okay.
But we've got many other departments that probably have a huge need. I know Road and Bridge has got a ton of documents that could be scanned, and honestly, if we don't get those things scanned, it'd be very easy for us to lose them in a fire or a flood or you name it, and we would not get those documents back. So
And it's something we can do. I think the only thing that I have to figure out is, district attorney may have evidence and stuff, so that's just something that I'm trying to think of
so you could still scan it, you just wouldn't get rid of it.
Correct, yes. Yeah, we can scan all of them. It's just making room for the ones that
Right.
we're running out of room for.
Yep.
Judge Sherry.
Yes, ma'am.
Are y'all following the retention schedules for the
Yes.
state and everything? Because, there's a certain time period for everything according to the state library. And then also each office in the past has had some of their records made permanent and some not, and things like that. So you kind of have to reach out to the state to make sure.
Yes, yeah, and I have not gone that route yet. It's something
You
that,
have to declare a person who's gonna do that in writing through the state library, and then you have to follow each of the retention schedules, and you also have to check and see who's in charge of those departments first, and see what they had already grandfathered in for their retention. Just.
Thank you.
I understand that the scanning is very important. And I also have found out just what a tremendous amount of work and what it takes and the paperwork and what goes through your office. I mean, we're talking about everything from a case of paper to a $389,000 Bearcat. And I had no idea that so many things are put on that office, like the inspection stickers for our enterprise lease. So I feel like, and I have complaints, I have had several complaints about inefficiencies in that office. And I feel like maybe if, I understand that scanning is very important and saving these records, but I also wonder if you don't need more help over there, or what's going on, or why is the wheel seem like it runs
that's what
off?
this job is going to be helpful.
Yeah.
She's still gonna have those duties, but she'll also take on responsibility of helping out with other things in the office, such as those items you listed.
But I'd like to see,
I
you
did
know,
ask Sharon about that, and she said that they could keep the current retention preservation title, but could help with other things, correct?
Is there training available for a purchasing agent? Does TAC provide anything that, like purchasing 101 or something?
So that's Texas PPA, and I just attended a workforce conference
Yeah.
in Nacogdoches, and I'll be going back in April.
You're going, okay, because I'm not throwing you under the bus at all. I just think maybe you're, maybe a little undertrained and,
Short-staffed too, so.
yeah, and I don't know how much real help that you get from the two people that are working for you now as far as how far they've been trained or what they've done or whether they're just keeping a seat warm.
I definitely jumped in and trained myself.
But I'd like to see that office get a little bit more efficient, if you don't mind.
Yeah, that's what we're working.
Yeah.
One of the things for me sitting and listening, I'm not, you know, and I'm kinda like William, Mr. Hatfield, that during the process, there was a lot of times it was, the answer was, well, I hadn't reached out to that yet. For me personally, there's a lot of logistics that needs to be worked out for this position as to what they're responsible for and how they're gonna help the other offices and how it's gonna be scheduled and how it's gonna be handled. For me personally, to me, we need to hammer these pertinent details out from now till the time we go into the budget process and look at making this position during the budget process that we'll start in May, a full-time position. I mean, I think that for me personally, there's just a lot of things that I'm sitting and listening that we feel like we know how it's gonna work and how it should work, but it's not concrete enough for me, sitting here listening that I would like to know more of the responsibilities of what they're gonna be able to do and what they can't do and what offices they can move in and help and what offices, like you said, with the DA's office and the other departments that might have pertinent information that they're not privy to or wouldn't be privileged to see or handle this type of information. You know, I think there's just I'm just speaking for me personally, there's just a big gap in the procedure of how we're gonna administer it by adding another full-time person. I mean, that's just a.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but when we made this full-time person in your office, wasn't the idea that they was to help other departments as well? Sherry, wasn't that the idea that that person could help other departments as well? Not in your office?
Full-time to my office. I have a full farm of documents, and so she's organizing and going
Okay.
in and scanning our back files. We have lost on 2 servers in the past, back in, 97, 98, we lost a whole bunch of files, images. Then again, in 2010, 2011, we lost all those years again with all the images. So she's having to go back and back scan all those. And people think, oh, those are old records, but you gotta remember, a child is 18, you know, it takes 18 years to get to a child. And we have tons of people who go back into those cases for enforcements and modifications. So all of those old cases are very important to have scanned, so we're not running back and forth for the judges and for everyone to, get the files and everything. To have it scanned.
Okay.
How long have you been in that position?
3 years in June.
3 years. None of us want to change here. I'm here to tell you, we do not want to change. We want to do all we can. We want to get you schooled up and make your job flow easy, because I can't imagine what it's like to be in your seat, because it costs us a little over $2.5 million a month just to keep the doors open here. So, but I am not throwing darts at you at all, but I would just like to see you reach out and get you some training on it. Get on listserv, ask other purchasing agents, reach out, ask for some help, because we want to keep you there, but we want you to improve a little bit.
Perfect.
All right.
Any other questions or comments? Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Hatfield, second by Commissioner Timmons. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Yeah.
So that was 4 ayes and 1 opposed. Motion passes. Thank you, ma'am. On to new business. Item number 1 is consideration and action regarding the approval of the Harrison County Airport ground lease. This is a tenant-constructed hangar known as hangar number 7 between Harrison County and Chris McNabb, commencing on January 1st, 2023 and ending on December 31, 2057, and the aircraft registration for said hangar. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Timmons, second by Commissioner Malden. Any questions or comments?
Is there any reason why I thought most of these leases are 25 or 30 years. This one runs past. Is this just a
This is
get all of them lined up?
These are all 35-year leases.
35,
All
okay.
these new ground leases are 35-year leases, and we wanted them all to start in 2023, and this guy's just been dragging his feet, but he's gotten it done. That way, they all come due in that same 2057, so it's just trying to, there were a number of them that were out or expiring, and then a number of them that were ready to expire that Charlene and Darby have been working to get them brought kind of into unison so that it's, we don't have 30 different leases expiring on 30 different dates.
I knew that y'all were attempting to line them
Yep.
up. I just
That's what this is. And I believe this is the last one, is that right? The last, well, his doesn't expire, but for the remainder of them, this finishes them up. So we're finally saw some daylight at the end of the tunnel. Any other questions or comments? We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 5-0. Item number 2 is consideration and approval for the ratification for Commissioners Zephaniah Timmons, Philip Malden, and Jay Ebarb for their reimbursement for meals and travel expenses incurred for their travel to Bryan, Texas on February 19th through the 22nd for the V.G. Young Institute for County Government School for Commissioners Courts. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Hatfield, second by Commissioner Timmons. Any questions, comments? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 5-0. Item number 3 is consideration and approval for ratification to pay the invoices in the amount of $401,201.90 to Bud McCracken with Rayford Truck and Tractor for reconstruction of Old Town Road, Mount Pleasant Cutoff, Airlight, and Macedonia roads. Is there a motion to approve?
motion.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Ebarb, second by Commissioner Malden. Any questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 5-0. Number 4 is consideration and action for the approval of the annual Fuel Master Fuel Management Limited Maintenance Agreement for Harrison County Airport that shall commence on March 18, 2024 and expire March 17, 2025 in the amount of $550. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Hatfield, second by Commissioner Ebarb. Any questions or comments? This is the management agreement for the credit card machine that you can buy avgas for small airplanes out there at the airport. We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 5-0. Number 5 is consideration and action in regards to the discussion of travel policy and procedure for Commissioners Court travel. Commissioner Timmons, I believe this was something that you had brought up. You want to discuss this, have some questions or comments?
Yes, I'm gonna have some comments. We've had some problems lately, and a lot of us commissioners have been talking about it amongst each other. So we wanted her to come and explain the travel policy to us, what department heads should be doing when they get ready to travel, if they have to rent a car, anything like that, you know. I know that the commissioners would prefer that Michelle, which is, she takes care of the commissioners' court, if she would make all our travel arrangements and things of that nature, and I know that you have talked to each commissioner and everything, to let us know how this go individual. We just thought we would bring it to open court and let you just explain it. And I think that you and Michelle have gotten together on future travel already. So if you would just explain it, and that way each department head will know and understand what to do.
Okay, so the process hasn't changed. In my opinion, the best way to reserve a hotel room, obviously you have to call and get a purchase order first, so we can make sure those funds are available. After COVID, hotels don't take checks anymore, so what you do is you call and get a purchase order. You can either ask the purchasing department to book it for you. If you've got a link, because it is through a conference, you're more than welcome to send us that link. If you are comfortable with someone else doing your office, such as Michelle, then we will provide that credit card for you. I don't want that card copied because it leaves room for fraudulent purchases. I'm not saying anyone in the office, but if someone has come by and that information is open. Also, a lot of the times I have to submit my personal driver's license to these hotels to show that my name is who I am and I'm able to purchase these, such as Brady also. The second option is if you want to use your own card, you're more than welcome. At that point, it would then be reimbursement, which would go to the treasurer's office. Same with mileage reimbursement. You call and you get a PO. Those have to go back to Commissioner Court dates, which is bill cutoff dates. Please make sure that you submit that within the reasonable amount of time. And if it is not done, then we will have to go through a Form 2, which is reimbursement through the treasurer's office as well.
Also, one of the reasons why we don't have a cell number for you, I don't think anybody, but Michelle usually wants to know approximately what time are you leaving, so she'll know approximately what time we should be getting there, because if we hadn't contacted her by a certain time, she's contacting us to make sure that we have not had a problem. How did the check-in go, and things like that, and if anything go wrong, we have had to call her off hours.
You're more than welcome to call me. I mean, I take phone calls at all hours.
Yeah.
Actually, I was on vacation one time and Sherry just called me. I was sitting at the ski slopes, so I'll answer. I don't.
Well, I understand,
I can
but
testify to
what I'm saying is, I don't have your cell number, but, I
Michelle
have
does have my cell.
Michelle. Okay.
Yep.
Just what, if it's late in the evening and we have a problem, I know to call Michelle. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Ask a question. Considering the travel and everything, can we not just have one credit card for travel only for the whole county? And then we have that number to make our reservations and things, but not the credit card that purchases everywhere?
We only have one credit card and it purchases travel and everything. I don't want the whole county to have a credit card because it already is a lot of effort to balance that bank statement and the auditor can justify that.
I'm just saying, like, when we're ready to travel, to be able to get that credit card,
Yeah.
make our own reservations, and take care of all that.
You can make your own reservations if you call. We can come down, we can provide the card number at any time. If you're ready to book, then you just let us know. Michelle actually just did that the other day.
Yes, and I've also run into a problem with that as well, like I will call Brady and she's tied up or got printed out, for instance, she's on maternity leave, so then like I call Mike, and Mike was like, I don't have the credit card number, well, we're on a time crunch, my guys will not go to a hotel unless they're in the host hotel. So if I'm depending on somebody else, but they're not there, and then Michael doesn't have access to the credit card, say he was somewhere in the courthouse, we don't know. So I'm having to wait 20, 30 minutes, however long, by that time, the rooms will go up. And then my guys won't get a host hotel room, and they're like, forget it, I'm not going.
Okay, purchasing also has per policy 3 to 10 business days to process a requisition. And we cater to the county and do that within 30 minutes.
Well, I think the key here is if Michelle knows that in the morning at 8 o'clock that the booking's gonna open at the host hotel and register. And I think that's changed with tax some now. Used to, you could book your hotel, but now, in order to get in the block, I think you got to actually be registered for the conference first, and then you can book a room in the host. But if it's gonna open on Tuesday morning, then on Monday, sometime during the day, Monday, she needs to contact y'all and get a PO with the information that she needs. So at 8 o'clock or 8:15 or whatever, when the booking opens on Tuesday morning, she can be sitting and ready to dial, you know, and I think that's part of our problem for me, and just looking at it, has been that I think we were accustomed to Miss Judy Jordan booking all our stuff for years, and then Michelle did for a little while, and then it kind of changed. But for me, there's too many hands trying to do the same thing, and for us, Michelle, she's our secretary, that's part of her responsibility, and I think it's just more convenient for the office if a secretary or a department head books their own rather than sending it to y'all to book through. I mean, it sounds like y'all got enough to do anyway without having to add another level of booking travel and everything
Previously,
else.
you know, I believe that y'all did book it with your own card, but we've run into the issues of, some hotels require that first day to be paid right then. And one of those was for y'all, and it was $1,000 charge for that first night stay, and became an issue of having to have that refunded, and.
Well, that
it
was
would've been-
when we secured some host hotel rooms, and I happened to be in the office when she did it, and they had to have it,
Right,
and they put it on my personal, and then when you called down and changed it over to the county
correct.
for the booking, and then when we all checked out at the hotel, they pulled up the first one,
Correct.
and it happened to be the one that secured the room, so they just charged them all, but y'all handled it, it took, you know, a couple of weeks
Right,
or a
and that's
month.
the issue.
Just to, yeah, so I mean, things are gonna happen, you know, but for me, you know, I'm one of the ones that if we're going to a conference, I don't wanna have to drive 10 or 15 miles from the hotel to the convention center, and go. I personally, I just don't go, you know, I mean, I wanna be booked where it's convenient to your room, and sometimes, most times it works, and every once in a while, it fills up quicker or whatever, but, you know, I just feel like for us and any of the other departments, not just the commissioners, that has to travel, they know where they wanna stay, and they let them book their own, you know, I mean, but the process, like you explained, they gonna have to go through the process of contacting y'all either a day or day before, they're gonna book tomorrow or whatever, and then they've got all the information they needs, and it's settled, boom, it's
Yeah.
done, you know, so I mean,
The planning.
I think it's just to get the understanding that this is the way it's gonna work going forward. If the department heads or our secretary is gonna book ours, then here's what she has to do a day or two before, and then when it opens, she's prepared to do what she needs to do to get it booked, so.
I think you also said all they have to do is contact you and get that PO. Is that right?
In the card.
Yeah, and then it's settled.
So if you know something's coming up next week, no reason to wait till the day before or whatever. We can get all that lined up, and you're aware that 8 o'clock Tuesday morning, we're gonna need a credit card number to get something done.
Yeah.
How far in advance should I contact the purchasing to get the purchase order? I mean, you can, for June or July, you can contact me today. It doesn't have to be, just whenever you feel like it, whenever you think about it.
So
But I'm saying, like, when I go to pay for the card, like, how far in advance? And can I keep the card number that you gave me, or do I have to call each time? You have to call each time. It's the same exact card number though? It doesn't, no, because it could be my card, it could be Bernie's card. It depends on who answers that phone call and, you know, the phones that are.
So you've got a county card and Brady's got a
They're
county
the same
card.
account.
But I mean, I'm just saying,
Different
but
card
but
numbers.
they're specific to you and.
Correct.
But no, okay.
answer everybody's questions.
I just know that there's always, seems to be a problem with travel. She knows in my respect, I've had to call her several times because the authorizations haven't been there.
They missed
check
the
in and things like that, but sometimes it's the hotel's fault.
Exactly.
Just like
Yes, ma'am, Denise.
To piggyback off of Ms. Sherry, I'm here to represent the county agents, it's been as well, the same concern. Horacio is out, he spoke with the city, but with our 4-H assistant, she's doing a lot more, And, well, once again, they all have had that happen to them where they can't get in the hotel because of miscommunication late at night especially. That was something that Jennifer was concerned with. I understand that Sadie's doing her best to try to smooth it over.
Did she have any issues checking in?
She hasn't, since you all have talked, because you said that they can call the last conversation you had with Horacio. So I was just adding to everyone else's comment that county agents was wondering too, could they have one from the department or something like that for travel?
I've had issues, trying to check in that they have asked me, for tax ID information. I told them you should have got that from the person that called you.
But the issue was is they had it for all the other commissioners checking in at
Right.
the same time. It's the hotel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, certainly it's a difficult issue and may take some more management. I mean, for y'all to make sure everybody gets the tax ID form and they've got all the reservations from Tuesday to Friday or whatever it is, make sure all that's in order. It's just a few more steps just to make sure it goes smoothly.
I would ask that you put together some type of email that you could send all the department heads that travel and of the process that now, if they want to book, then here's what you need to do. Call our office in advance, get the PO number, get the information you need to book them. Or if some of the department heads still want y'all to book through, then they understand that y'all are gonna book, and any of the others that might wanna book their own, that this is the policy that, or the procedure that you're gonna go through. Where everybody understands that, you don't have to wait till 3:30 on the evening before to try to catch up with you to get that information, that they need to be put in for a PO number in advance, if it's a month or two or whatever, that they're ready to book the day that it opens. And that way everybody understands that if you want, just like us, if we want Michelle to book it, then here's what she needs to do in order to do it. And that way everybody in the county knows, and they can make their own decision as to whether they want the purchasing to book through, or they want their secretaries or administrative assistants, or they do it or whatever. But I think everybody know, that way everybody understands, here's how it's gonna move through the system. If you don't do it, then, it's gonna be messed up. So, I think it'd just be a good email to send out if you would, to where everybody understands that, hey, you don't have to, you do this, you put in for it, get your PO in advance before booking ever opens.
Along with the procedure, if that person wants to rent a car. I read in the, travel policy somewhere where you could rent a vehicle. Okay, we'll add that into that.
Standing, Sherry.
Is there any way, usually when we do our travel, we have to do it at a package deal? Well, if you're gonna get the host hotel early,
You can do that in advance. You don't have
can
to do
we
it
have a
yourself.
PO just for the hotel and a PO just for car rental, and that way, so we know that
Yes,
all
it doesn't
things
have to be
are
combined. It does not have to be combined. You can
It
separate.
does not have to
We
be
separate it out when it gets to our office. The only thing that's combined is mileage and per diem, unless it's the sheriff's office or someone who has a, county vehicle, they don't get mileage. But everything else is separated out. We just do that in our office. If you wanna separate it out, that helps us out.
Because in the past, we've been told to put it all as a little package, so I was just wanting to see if we could go ahead and have different POs for different parts of the travel.
Yep.
Ms. Rushing.
I just want to add and mention too, the cutoff times is very important to Sadie and my office as well. Because we do the Form 2, which is after the fact, after you've been to your, training or location or whatever. But we have cutoff times too, and we cannot fill out a Form 2 until after you've already been in that, and then we turn it, y'all turn it into us. But it also has to go through the
You know, I think email is a great way to track these things. We all get notified of such and such conference coming up June the 1st. If I were to send that to you, you could get me registered. I guess you could pay that with a credit card. You could see that the host hotel opens up April the 1st when you could first register. You could do that and then send us those confirmations. Hey, you're registered for the conference and here's your room confirmation. If you have those emails with you when you go to the hotel room, that usually makes it a lot easier. It does for me. So maybe that's a step that you could.
We always send email confirmations when we book. So if we booked your room, we will forward it to whoever has asked us to, like Hilton Poindexter is our contact in the sheriff's office. Whenever he books rooms for the sheriff's office, we always forward it to him. He can distribute it how he pleases. If
Sure.
I'm booking for you, we book it for Michelle, or we send it to Michelle and she forwards it on to y'all. But yes, I agree.
Fantastic.
So we could be doing the per diem and travel
Ahead of
expense.
time, yes. Unless it's you, then you have to be approved by the court.
Well, that's true.
But yes,
Everybody
Short
except you.
timer, that's right. I'm special.
yes, you are special.
That's the Mr. Greer road.
But yes, you can do it. I mean, if you know you're going in June, Sherry actually is going in April and has turned hers in months in advance. So,
And for some of the department heads that want to, I mean, I know they may send confirmation or whatever, but before I go to 90 days, I'll usually call and make sure, because it could be a hotel error, but I'll usually call and make sure they have my reservation before I go.
That's smart. Anybody else? Any other questions, comments? Got what you needed there, Commish
Yes, sir.
Timmons?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
No action on number 5. It's just discussion. Item number 6 is consideration and approval of the resolution in support of ESD 6 submission for grant funding for the purchase of 9 mobile radios. Sergeant Mays, good morning.
Good morning, how are y'all?
Good.
Good morning.
Y'all remember the last commission meeting, we spoke to y'all about the grant for ESD 6, and we got that applied for on a short window. This is just a resolution that acknowledges that and expresses our participation with that. Just needs to be filed and sent into EDCOG.
Fantastic. So this will be a grant request through EDCOG for ESD 6, which is Woodlawn. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Very good.
And we approved that last Thursday.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
It has been approved and,
Well, at our level.
Yeah.
At the local level, yes, it's still
Yeah.
got to go upstairs.
Yeah.
And
He's
just-
talking about EDCOG approval.
we approved it at EDCOG last week.
Oh, did you?
Yes, sir.
Motion.
Great.
Second.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
That's one more step there.
Yeah,
Motion by Commissioner Ebar, second by, was that you, Commissioner Timmons?
Yes, it was.
yeah.
Yeah,
All in favor?
Uh,
Aye. Don't mean to cut you off there.
Yeah, just so y'all know, out of all the applications that we had, we wound up with a total of 6 applications, and there just wasn't enough money to go around. We had about half the money that we needed and everybody had some good legitimate requests. So basically, everybody is gonna wind up getting about half of what they asked for, unless, the state says, we got a little more money, we'll pump it in there and pump it back up. We know we at least got half.
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
Very good.
And this grant was brought to light when the Commissioners Court met with the ESD chiefs. We had a Monday night meeting here, and that was brought up that there's grants available. And I'd like to thank you again for Dwight, because we said reach out to Dwight Mays, our grant facilitator. And again, thank you for a stellar job on getting that done.
Yes, sir.
So we had a motion and a second, and we just voted, and that was 5-0. Yes, ma'am. Commissioner Timmons. Ebarb and Timmons. On to item number 7, this is consideration and approval of the grant application to the Texas General Land Office in the amount of $49,000 for planning and management funding for Harrison County's 2025 Hazard Mitigation Assistance Plan.
As y'all know, our plan is coming up due for renewal. It has to be done once every 5 years. Don't know if y'all have ever had a chance to look at it. I have. It's a very complex document. Ours is over 180 pages long. It not only requires our input, but also from each of the incorporated municipalities within the county, so they're also a part of it. This application is gonna give us the ability to hire a professional to get this done. The last time it was done by Thomas Mock. Jamie is new to the job. He's got a lot of training that's going on right now, and he's basically up to his eyeballs in work. And I don't have the expertise to do it either, so I can't think of a better way to go through this time than to hire a professional who knows exactly how to do this.
Will this 49,000 cover the total expense? Are you aware of how much it costs to get this done?
You talking about his part?
This is a grant request for $49,000. What does it cost to prepare the plan?
Oh, he'll do it for the $49,000.
Very good.
And a matter of fact, I've gotten, and I think, I don't know if the rest of the commissioners got the meeting, but we had a gentleman that came highly recommended to us through EDCOG of Ben Buchanan. It would be my recommendation that we hire. The judge got the meeting briefly. He came up last November at our request, came and spent a couple of days. Did not charge us a dime, but he just wanted to look and see where we were with our current plan, and what it would entail, whether we even needed his services or not. And his opinion was that yes, what we had from last time was okay, but it definitely needed some updating and could be a little bit better done. He's a military veteran. He's also past employee of Tatum and FEMA. This is actually what he used to do professionally. Was he actually reviewed and approved these plans? So I can't think of a better person to have do ours this time around. I got a proposed contract from him. I just didn't get it until last night, so I didn't have it for you gentlemen. But he's got 4 benchmarks listed in it that as he works through the stages of the process, it will be paid $12,250 at each benchmark once it's reached between beginning and completion.
All right, is there a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
Motion by Commissioner Hatfield, second by Commissioner Timmons. Any questions or comments?
Would that contract be pending on the receival of this grant, or is it something, if this grant doesn't go through, we're gonna have to bite the bullet and pay for it? I mean.
Well, that's the whole purpose of getting the grant, so we can hire him.
Okay. I mean, so his contract would hinge on us receiving this grant?
Yes.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments? We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, our motion passes 5-0. Number 8 is consideration and approval of the application to SERI, that's the Statewide Emergency Radio Infrastructure Division of Homeland Security, for $1 million for an additional radio tower.
This is another grant that EDCOG graciously made us aware of. Homeland Security has kind of changed up their planning and the way they've done it in past years. Once the money was made available, or the grant was made available, each individual entity would supply their application, and EDCOG would submit them, and then Homeland Security would decide how the money was to be doled out. They kind of changed that. They kind of put the monkey on EDCOG's back and said, no, you get your applications together, you decide how it's supposed to be doled out. So EDCOG has made us aware of this, and I'm kind of pleased that they were willing to earmark $1 million out of a $2 million grant for us in the interest of improving our radio infrastructure. As y'all know, the program that we've got going on now, it's still in the works. Even after our original surveys were done, we know we're gonna have some weakness in the northwest corner of the county and also in the southeast corner of the county. So if we can use this money and find a good prime location up in one of those areas, preferably the northwest, this would be a good opportunity, I believe, to get on that.
And I think part of the reason that EdCog is happy to give us that much for one tower is it'll benefit Harrison County
Absolutely.
and other counties. Jefferson, Marion and Upshur both could use this same tower as well
Absolutely.
when we join that network. So it's a win-win for multi-counties,
And
not,
yes, that's another reason, is because if we package these partnerships together, it's just gonna make that grant look a whole lot better to Homeland Security, much more likelihood of getting it served. And, I don't see any reason why it wouldn't go through.
very good. Motion to approve.
Motion.
Commissioner Ebar made the motion, Commissioner Timmons second. Any questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, our motion passes 5-0. Number 9 is consideration and action regarding the approval of the request by Dwight Mays asking for authority to seek out partnerships with other agencies that could also utilize the tower, such as Gregg County and TxDOT, et cetera. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion. Second.
There you go. Commissioner Timmons made the motion. Commissioner Ebarb seconded. Any other questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 5-0. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Hatfield, second by Commissioner Malden. Did I cut you out of any comments on there? Do you want to talk about that?
Well, I was gonna say that now that I have this authority, I have it on good authority that, we have, a landowner in the northwest part of Harrison County that might be willing to donate us a prime tower site.
We'd sure take the donation, wouldn't we?
I believe I'll speak to that gentleman.
Yes, sir. Thank you. All right, we got a motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 10-29. We're adjourned.